I know. Hello, guys. Welcome to Flip These Bricks Academy Weekly Connection Call. Happy Monday. I'm Jasmine Robinson, your co-host, and coming to you this week from Mumbai, India, international call. So very excited to be with you all this evening. I'm actually heading into Tuesday. So we're going to get started. I'm going to go ahead and pull up our PowerPoint so we can do our little housekeeping and we can get right into it. I know that Daniel has a lot that he'd like to share tonight, so we're going to get started so we can keep it going and be efficient with your time. Um, our mission here at Flip These Bricks is to build a community of professional business owners who want to build partnerships, refer business, share knowledge, and of course, create real estate investment opportunities. Our mantra is the power of partnership, and we truly believe in that. And I believe in it as well. Our meeting standards is that we meet at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Monday. We start about 7:05 p.m. We would love if you would have your cameras on so that we can see the faces of those that we're doing business with. If you are not currently speaking, we would ask that you keep your mics muted, and if you would just pay attention to that and give your full attention to the person that has the floor. And of course, to participate when we have questions and we have participation from the group, it always makes for a great conversation, makes for great discussion. And I think that's how we learn more and more. So please come with the questions. Don't be afraid to unmute and share throughout the call. Flip These Bricks is growing. I know that we are currently in New York, Atlanta, Florida, Dallas, Maryland, North Carolina, California, and our goal is to be not only nationwide, but to be global. So continue to spread the word, continue to tell others about Flip These Bricks. I hope that you are finding it beneficial and that you would not be afraid to tell your business colleagues, your friends, your coworkers, your family members about the goodness that we have going on here at Flip These Bricks. I'm going to skip this really quickly tonight. I'm actually going to go here. No, I'm going to go here. Please join us on Mighty Networks. I'm very happy to say that we now have 21 members in our community on Mighty Networks, and I've definitely gotten back to sharing information on Mighty. So our book club information, sharing property information, and just trying to start sharing some more tidbits. Daniel is also going to begin to share some video content on there. So if you are not on Mighty Networks, please go to your Play Store, look for Mighty Networks and search for Flip These Bricks Academy and join our community over there as well. This is how we communicate when we are not online. So as you guys know, we always like to get to know who's on the call. And get to know everyone. If we have guests, we would love for you to unmute yourselves, turn on your microphones. Let us know, how did you hear about Flip These Bricks? What brings you to the call tonight? And for our recurring members, if you would just introduce yourselves and let us know about your services that you provide. This is how we're able to refer you when we are out in the marketplace. This is always my favorite time of the call because I get to pick on people, kind of, sort of. All right, so we can definitely make it easy. If you guys would go ahead and unmute yourselves, take the initiative, it would be awesome. Anybody want to go first?
I help you out.
Thank you.
I help you out. I got you back. I just want to make two announcements. Number one, yes, Mr. Anthony, he can help you. He can fill in all the details about what we're working on in reference to the property that we will identify out in Orlando. However, I see my sister just pop up. Melody, I hear her already.
I know.
I just wanted to say that this platform, yes, yeah, you can mute her, but I want to bring her back up to officially say.
Great, Joseph. Now you're muted. Both of y'all are muted. Unmute. I'm not quite sure what just happened. Joseph, I think he just dropped off.
I think he lost reception.
Yeah. But until he comes back, Melody, if you'd like to join or introduce yourself, Joseph was trying to give you an introduction.
Oh, okay. My name is Melody Williams.
And I'm gonna
Sorry.
just leave it right there. Just basically, I don't bring my blood, to the table with a lot of business. Unless I'm with respect for the people. And so I know my sister and her husband, my brother, when they said they will join us, I wanted to make sure that they know the people that I'm affiliated with Flip This Bricks. Um, and so I just wanted to introduce that and introduce my sister, so you can know who my sister is, because if she get excited about what we're doing, I know the addition that she will bring into the platform and everything else that comes with her and her partner. So that's all I wanted to say. And just know that we're in Orlando, July 5th, 6th, and 7th, Fashion Comedy.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm like, Melody, go ahead and introduce yourself. I'm sorry about that.
You are good. So when my brother sent me this link, I was out and about. So I'm finishing up chores. I still got chores. I'm finishing up what do you call it when you're running around? Errands. Thank you. And so I'm on the way home now, but I didn't want to miss. I wanted to see what you guys were doing. So I have no clue what it is that you're doing. Like I said, I got the message. I was out and about. But anywho, I'm recently released from corporate, and hold on one second. George, put this up for me. And so now I am finishing up my training to start insurance sales. And I am also in the process of starting I'm also in the process of starting a Home Matters franchise. So those are the two things that I'm focused on right now. So I'd like to hear more about what you guys are doing.
Yes, wonderful. Well, we're very happy to have you. We are definitely a platform that supports small business owners. We are real estate focused, but we are entrepreneurs first. So we love to have professionals come on and share their business and their services so that we can refer you when we're out in the marketplace. So thank you so much for joining us. We're glad to have you.
You're welcome, and thank you.
Thank you.
Hi,
Anyone else?
good evening. My name is Tut Livingston. My cousin is Daniel, my little cousin, and I'm not doing anything. I just work as a porter, and if y'all can help me better myself financially and business wise, I surely appreciate it. That's why I'm just here to listen and learn.
Awesome. Well, we're glad to have you as well. Tell me, what city are you in?
New York, Brooklyn, New York.
All right. Brooklyn in the house. All right.
Yeah.
That's that. Very good. Thank you. Anyone else want to unmute and introduce themselves?
I will. So I am Mia Becton. Daniel is a cousin. And I'm just on the call to hear more about, property. We've been interested in property, just thinking of other streams of income. And we have another cousin that is doing something very similar. They're buying up properties, and you could become part of an investor with a certain amount of money, and they are building. And so we're just learning. I'm just trying. So then when I saw Daniel was doing the same stuff, I listened to hers and I said, oh, I'm going to listen to Daniel's and see what he has going on. So just trying to find more information.
Well, we're very glad to have you on the call tonight. What city are you in?
Connecticut.
Connecticut. Okay. You're with Miss Janice. So if you all would please also share your information in the chat, we'd love to stay connected. So if you could provide your name, phone number, and an email address. We do send out a weekly email just to kind of let you know what we have going on. So please make sure to put that in the chat. And thank you so much for introducing yourself, Mia. Appreciate it. I guess I introduced myself at the beginning of the call, but I am Jasmine Robinson. I am a licensed realtor in the state of Georgia as well as Florida. I'm also the daily operations manager at Flip These Bricks Academy. And so I am here to assist you in your real estate and your Flip These Bricks needs. Okay, so I'll put my information in the chat as well. And who would like to go next?
I'll go next. I'm Myra Walters. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. the founder of a nonprofit organization that bridges seniors and youth together. And our next project is to build housing. So I'm just here to learn more and to collaborate on becoming the next community developer.
Awesome. Mara, I got your text message. I'm so glad you got your package.
Yes, thank you. Love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. Yes, you're welcome. No problem. All right. So some of our seasoned members or guests, if you would introduce yourselves, that would be great. I don't have to call any names.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mario Lalande, real estate investor, appraiser. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, Alpharetta. Just wanted to say hi. I'm here if anybody's got any appraisal needs, investment questions. Nice to meet everyone.
Yes. Hi, Mario. It's good to hear your voice,
What's up?
see your face.
How are you, dude?
I know.
How you
Great.
been?
Thank you. I'm great. Thank you very much. Very good to see you.
Good. Same here.
All right. Awesome. All right. Who's next? Maria.
Hey there. I am Maria McNeil. I am a licensed clinical social worker, and I live here in Jackson, Mississippi. And I am a member of Flip These Bricks, and I am working diligently to find my place in this networking organization. And I'm loving it. And
We're
it's nice.
loving it. Thank you so much for unmuting and introducing yourselves. I'm very happy. Tonight we have some diversity. We have people in Mississippi, Connecticut, Atlanta. So our goal of becoming nationwide and globally is definitely growing and happening. So in Atlanta, of course. So I'm happy to see that. Make sure you drop your info in the chat and we can keep it going. Anybody else want to unmute and introduce themselves?
Yeah, I'll go. I'm Anthony Brown. I'm here in New York, and between New York and Florida. We have an architecture firm that do business in New York, the tri-state, the Carolinas, as well as Atlanta. So that's what we do on the day-to-day stuff. But we also investors and realtors myself in Florida. Just love to do real estate investing and development, and just looking to be part of this community and the good things that lies ahead.
Yes, thank you. Actually, with Anthony just introducing himself, I will put the reminder out or let you guys know that we're doing a tax lien course. Anthony is going to be teaching us. We had 101 a couple weeks ago, and so we're going to do an additional course, kind of go deeper into it. It will be Saturday, April the 20th from 2 to 4, and it will be via Zoom. So if you're interested in participating in that course, if you would email me at jasmine@flipthesebricks.com, and I will send you, I'll put that in the chat as well, but I will send you the link. It will be a separate link, Zoom link, so you will have to RSVP. But once again, that's the tax lien course, and it's April the 20th from 2 to 4. Okay. Anyone else would like to introduce themselves? I see that we have a few new faces.
Yeah,
Don't be shy.
my name is Jerome Nesbitt. Mikey is my older cousin. I'm just here to learn more. That's it, really.
That's awesome. What do you do, or where do you live?
I do a little construction here and there. I'm from New York. I'm from the Bronx.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad to have you, Jerome. Hopefully you'll take away something this evening, and then you'll continue to join us and learn more and more.
All right.
All right. Who's next? We're going to do a couple more, and then we're going to kind of get into our conversation, our topic for the night. So if we could get maybe 1 or 2 more people to introduce themselves, that'd be great. Anybody? Somebody? I got to call a name. Okay. Any, mini, miny, mo. Lene. You're always great at the introductions. And you're in a city that hasn't been spoken of. Is she there? No. All right. Well, we can keep moving. How about you, Daniel? You want to introduce yourself, and then we can lead into our nightly conversation?
Sorry, I'm here. I was trying to get to the button.
No
Hi.
problem.
I'm Lene, a member of Flip These Bricks. Actually, I'm here in Texas, and Daniel and myself and our other partner partnered on the Garza Avenue project, which we're working on, and it's coming along really nicely. Welcome to all the newcomers. It's definitely, this is definitely the place to be to learn about real estate investments and make the connections you need and work on funding and building relationships and all of that good stuff. So good evening, everyone.
Evening. Thank you, Lene. Appreciate it. I know Garza, Daniel showed me some video of Garza. I was like, it's definitely coming along. Should be some foundation laid soon, right?
Good stuff. Yeah, it's really exciting.
Yes, it is. All right, awesome. All right, Daniel. So we're gonna turn it over to you. You can introduce yourselves and then you can segue into tonight's topic. How are you, sir?
I am doing great. How's everybody doing? Good to see that I got some family members on here tonight. I'm always trying to spread the word and the love through the family so we can always keep the legacy going. You know, it's about creating, you know, generational wealth. And, you know, once the grandparents leave, you know, somebody got to step up to the plate. So, you know, it's good to see some of my cousins on the line today. I only have like 5 or 6 things that I want to talk about. I want to take my time and just go through things slowly but surely, so you guys actually can kind of get an understanding, get a chance for you guys to have any questions for the most part. And I have also identified a FTB in-house project for our members. So I want to you know, share that information. The full details of it, Jasmine and myself is going to post that into Mighty Network. So us as members, we have the opportunity to see what involvement that you guys want to take place. It is a project in Atlanta. I do have an accepted contract on it. So it's something that we can actually move, you know, move forward with as a team. So I will get into that in a little bit. What I want to talk about is what is Flip These Bricks? Like, why are we really here, right? We got several different business owners. We have our 9-to-5 people who's looking for other opportunities on the call. So FTB is what we're building is the Global Business Network. And it's exactly what it sounds like. You know, we're different, but we're no different than your local organizations like your Chamber of Commerce, your Real Estate Investor Association, your Home Builder Association. Every professional industry have an association that's geared towards the leadership, education to kind of help, you know, groom you, you know, in the market that you actually in. So that's basically what we're doing here at FTB. FTB is put in place mainly to create an additional stream of income to what you guys are already doing. It's not to be put in place to take away or replace what you guys are currently doing, because we want the system to be really, really simple. You know, it's really about, you know, creating passive income, you know, additional income. And being that my background is construction and I've been, you know, building now 23 years, that's the portion or the slice of the pie that I personally actually bring to the table. Like Jasmine mentioned, our memberships are growing, and there's several backgrounds within our membership right now that's actually not construction at all. So these are the committees that we're looking to pull out of our members so we can now also start offering their backgrounds to the organization, just in case there's someone within the organization don't necessarily want to follow the real estate and the construction portion, even though our foundation is based around real estate investment. Regardless if you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, janitorial, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we want to create investment opportunities to be really, really simple. What we doing at Flip These Bricks is creating value within banking on yourself. You know, we're not an organization where we're looking for anyone to invest in us personally. We're not looking for anyone to put up any money into any individual project unless you are actually involved in a project, you are owner in the project, and you're a part of the overall deal. So that's who we are at FTB. That's what we do. And I want to talk a little bit about the power of partnership. The reason why our tagline is based around the power of partnership, because we can do so much more together. When you look at any type of investment opportunity, a lot of us on this call are in a position to where we can stand alone, and we have stood alone, and we have built business on our own. But imagine what we can do collectively as a group if we all came together on a small perspective, and then growing for something, a lot larger. Me being, from New York, as well as done a lot of building in Atlanta, I'm always looking at a lot of these skyscrapers, these apartment buildings that got 600 units in them. And my question was always, how are these buildings getting funded? I sit on several committee boards with the owners of some of these building owners and some of the GCs who's building some of these buildings. And some of these guys are not that much older than me. So when you sit back and you look at these projects that's going up, what I come to learn is that they're not doing these deals by themselves. There's hedge funds, there's investment firms on many, many different levels. And what I want to be able to do here at FTB is I want to be able to create the same platform and give the opportunities more on the entry level, because a lot of those hedge funds and investment firms have like a minimum of $200,000 to even get a packet to discuss how they can even get involved. And even with those investment opportunities, they never get involved. They never learn their investments. They put their money into an investment and they just wait to get a return back on their investment. And if something was to ever go south with the deal, they just lose their investment. This is the reason why FTB is structured to create joint ventures. So regardless of how big or how small a project is, what we do is we take your current company or we create one for yourself, and we'll do a joint venture on a project. And with that joint venture, your name then go on title, regardless of you a 10% stake, you 50%, or 25%. None of that really matters. And that's going to basically be your buy-in. And these are some of the things that we're going to talk about as members with this next FTB project that we have coming up in Atlanta. And this is, we're going to open the door to see who wants to get involved. The, opportunity is open for every member, within this organization. So that's what we do here at FTB when we talk about the power of partnership. And within that topic, I want to talk about like, how do we get funded? Of course, we can fund projects ourselves. Ideally, as our group grow, that's what we want to do. We want to be able to fund these projects ourselves, because then we don't have the interest that we're paying these lenders. However, these lenders are in place in order for us to be able to bring whatever necessary down payment to the table in order for the banks to be able to give us the money that we need to do these investment properties. We have it set up at FTB to where you can come in at a minimum of $1,000 and be able to put your money towards a loan with someone who may be an anchor investor within this organization, to where that $1,000 can start working for you and it can start growing. And then eventually you can be able to invest more if that's all you would like to invest. But as you know, the less you put in is going to be the less percentage that you get out of a project, which is also okay, because it's not a rush. Like, you're not in a rush to grow your portfolio. You want to continue doing what you guys are doing in your livelihood, but at the same time, working with a group. And as you see, it's multiple of us in different states, because the purpose of this global business network is for us to be in different states. We all in different markets. People want to be close to their investments. You don't have to invest in all the areas that some of us are investing in. However, I do have the markets that, I'm tailored to, because I'm in those markets, and I'm going to share a little bit about the opportunities in those markets as well. Now, we have private money lenders. We got hard money lenders. For those who haven't been on some of the recent calls, we had a few lenders actually joined, they shared the information. We have the information. If you didn't get the information, this is why we have the Global Business Network. You should be able to reach out to anyone in this organization at any time, and we should be able to pull the resources together, for you to be able to get the things that you need, whether you have questions. I know Jasmine is running the Mighty Networks with some of the members that do get a chance to log in. This is a place where, you get to find a deal, bring it to the table. Somebody can help you analyze it. If you see abandoned buildings that you drive by normally, don't have a clue of what to do with them, bring them to the table. Maybe we can figure out the county owner. Maybe we can do some research and see if it's a private investor that own them, and maybe we can pick it up. It could be a deal for you, or it could be a deal about the organization. The next thing I want to talk about is our Garza project. Just to, piggyback on, what Lene, she is my partner, one of my partners in Dallas, Texas. So we are in the beginning stages of Dallas, Texas, just reproducing the model that I've been building in Atlanta for many, many years. Me, her, and Mark, we created a company called Tech Built Properties. This particular company is not set in place for a quick fix and flip. So it's not your standard JV that, some of us may do together. We are actually building a company out for a long-term purpose with this particular organization by flipping a few, taking some profit, and then start holding one, eventually flipping a few more, holding one, so we can build a long-term portfolio for retirement with a goal of being able to do an apartment building in the Dallas, Texas area. So those is the goals that we created. Now, when you create a partnership with anyone in this organization, whether it's myself, whether it's someone, that's why I say you got to get to know your members, communicate with your members, find out who's your people. Everybody is not everybody's people, and everybody is not obligated to work with each other regardless of who's doing any type of investment. Like I said, this organization is no different than you joining the Chamber of Commerce. You want to know what's going on in the community, who's doing what, who can be a resource to you, how can we work together to figure these things out. Everybody is not going to be able to get on one deal. It just won't be profitable. So when these deals come to the table, we need all of us as members to constantly keep bringing deals and stuff like that to the table, so we always got things into rotation. For the people who don't know anything about real estate investing, but may have been a homeowner, already within their life once or twice or even 3 times, the process is all the same when purchasing a property. We just doing it from a different standpoint. So it's a little bit easier to get the funding. It's less red tape because the banks know that you are here for them to, not only you make money, they make money as well. Banks don't make no money unless they're lending. So if you're not in front of them trying to borrow, they don't want to make no money. So I'm saying all that to say that all the money that we need is available to us to do anything that we want to do. There's a bunch of big production builders, and these be the same production builders that have been around generations probably before I was born. They're still the big major players in the industry. And then you have your spot builders, like myself and, guys that may be a little bit bigger than I am, that's out there taking advantage of the funding. I bring all that up to say, as a group and as an organization, the goal behind FTB is to become the bank. And part of becoming the bank is all of us doing our part to represent what this organization is really, really all about. This organization is about you. Every last one of you guys that's on this call, that's what this organization is about. The organization is about building your empire, your network, and you are part of this network at the ground level. So there's no real obligations to this organization. This call that we on today, this is not a membership call. We're still working on that date for the members to just have that monthly membership call outside of, our Mighty Network. Because like I said, we're growing faster than we thought we were, and we are at the ground level. So a lot of things we're still putting into perspective only because we got to stick with the key components of what the organization is really, really about. And we're doing that in real time. So we're looking for properties. That's like our first priority. So it's certain systems that is not taking place, but they will be taking place. So, you know, and our members, they know because we're constantly talking about it. It's mainly for the people who's on the call now that kind of understand why we have this weekly call. This weekly call is really for us to go out in the world, out in the community, and for us to tell 2 or 3 people and bring them back to this weekly call. Even if you don't understand why you're here, you're bringing them. So collectively, it might take 2 or 3 times of them getting on a call for it to click of their why they're there. You see, because everybody have their own road that they're traveling, their own experiences, their own life ideology, and they have their own goals. And there's so many different components to investing and making money in real estate investing. We're not trying to sell classes here. You know, we're here to share all of our knowledge, all of our experience consistently, weekly and monthly. And once we start having these monthly meetings are going to be strictly for us to have dialogue on what's going on in the world, what's going on in our business, what type of questions that you want to ask that will help grow your business. What areas of the country are we investing in? You know, what is the stats? What's happening in the stock market? All of these different things affect our business. And on a monthly basis, you get to come to your network and ask that question that you just might need answered in order for your business to go to the next level. The different levels of corporation structures. Why should I be an LLC versus a corporation? Now we're getting into, you know, your future of opening up a trust. All the different things that, especially like within the Black community, was never really given to us. And these are some things that some of us had the opportunity of working in corporate America to where we was able to experience these things. And we want to bring all these different experiences back to FTB. I'm learning personally still in real estate and FTB from just having conversation with members, you know, within the organization. So that's who we are. That's what FTB is pretty much about. And I'm gonna because I don't want to stay on too long because you know I want to kind of get to the last thing that I want to talk about. But the Garza project happened really fast, but we just now really getting started on the Garza project. We bought the property sight unseen. We was in Dallas. It was me just getting down there. We was looking for a project. We had no resources. We had contact with a lender, so we knew that that was in place. And a project just, you know, it just came from the lender. The lender recommended. We looked at the numbers for a rehab. The numbers worked. We bought the house. Well, I put it under contract sight unseen. Now, everything is about building relationships. Yes, I could have backed out of the deal, but backing out of the deal would have not only put a monkey wrench in the fact that the lender went above to reach the agents who had it listed and stuff like that. So sometimes everything is not always about making all the money. It's about building relationships in the process at the same time, because integrity is the most important aspect of any business, especially in real estate investing, because the good builders and the good and developers and investors, it's a really, really small circle. And no matter what city and state you're in, once you start really touching the stuff that's important, you're going to see that everybody knows everybody, from the city officials to the building inspectors, the real estate brokers. If you plan on really doing something in that area, people are going to know who you are. So that's why it's really, really important that you uphold the integrity and all your investment, doings, especially amongst, this organization and our members and membership, because there's so many loopholes in real estate to where there is going to be opportunities that you guys will see that you could pull the wool from up under one of your partner's feet in order for you to gain, but it may put them in an upside down situation. Those are the deals we don't want. Those are the deals that we don't want to touch, because at the end of the day, your partner is important. It's not about the right now money that you think you can get now. It's the long-term money that you're going to be able to have because at the end of the day, you're always going to have something to fall back on. And that's what we're building, you know, here at FTB. So the next thing I want to talk about, let me go back. Go ahead, Jasmine.
Okay.
And
Well, before
Daniel,
you
I
move
want to
on-
piggyback when you finish. Sorry, Jasmine.
No, you're good. I really wanted to say to our newer investors, if you're new to investing, if you are new to construction, you know, bidding on properties and these things, that's the benefit. That is one of the benefits of Flip These Bricks, is that you have seasoned investors who you can go to get information, resources. Anthony, Daniel, myself, we have real estate agents that are in different cities that can help you as well. But I also want to say to some of our reoccurring members that I really would hope that you guys will begin to participate in the book club. You will begin to feel stronger as an investor when you learn the terminology, when you get familiar with the different strategies. So there is work to do outside of just these calls. You have to, and that's why I've committed to the weekly book club meetings. And I'm only bringing this up today because I was speaking to Miss Janice earlier. She's my loyal attendant, but I can see how she is growing and her confidence is growing and how she is ready to make the next step. So without that foundation, it's just like building a house. You have to have a strong foundation. So by working on your foundation, by getting the terminology, by finding out strategies, speaking to lenders, speaking to contractors, you will begin to feel like a stronger investor. You will find your way and you will begin to take those opportunities to invest when they come about, because you'll feel stronger and more educated about the industry. So take advantage of the book club, take advantage of the accountability calls. You know, I'm here to do bi-weekly accountability calls to help you keep yourself on track. That's a part of our membership. Take advantage of these resources that are coming to our newer investors, because it will make a difference. If you commit to it for 90 days, I'm sure that you will feel like a different person in regards to investing. That's my goal to put.
You wanted to chime in, Lene, before I keep moving forward?
Yeah, just briefly on the heels of what you said about and Jasmine, just taking advantage of the resources that are here. But two, you can't just show up and like expect things to fall in your lap, right? You have to get to know the members in the group. You have to drop your contact information. You have to engage. You have to take an opportunity to speak up when the floor is open. What are you here for? Before you show up each week, sit down, do some brainstorming. What are your personal goals? What are your goals as a part of joining the group? What can you get from it and what can you bring? And bringing doesn't always mean just financially, right? It could be mindset, it could be resources. As Daniel said, it could be spreading the word about what we're doing here. And to piggyback off of what Daniel said, no one's obligated to work with each other. You have to show up, see value, present value, make the connections. That's what we did. That's how we decided, in addition to me being a member of FTB, to go ahead and establish a whole nother company and share our ideals and brainstorm and formulate something to build a whole nother project. Like that takes work, it takes effort, it takes communication, it takes showing up. So I just want everyone to be mindful to be present and be active.
And Lene, before you go, this is what I want you to, especially for like the new members that's on here, and then because I'm about to talk about the progress of that particular Garza project. Like when Lene came on board, like Lene has a background. She's an accountant. She has another business outside of her being, an accountant and things of that nature. Of course, she's a homeowner, but she never got into, real estate investing. So this Garza project was the first project that she did, with the FTB platform of us to power a partnership. So what I want you to do, Lene, if you could just explain to them your beginning experience from the time the project was introduced to you. What was your thought process of getting involved? How did it happen for you as well as what is happening? And then where are we at now just with it, just so they can kind of understand how fast that deal actually got done once it was presented to you.
Okay, So I had been attending FTB calls. I've known Daniel for a while. We've discussed some things and brainstormed on some things. He and Mark had been tabling something, and we had a conversation, and it was mentioned that I would be a good fit based on our common goals, long-term, short-term, and our collective willingness to commit. So we had a conversation. We went over the numbers, we went over the percentages, came up with our strategy on formulating the other company. That happened relatively fast. We had our funds available to make our investment. We came up with the numbers of what we were going to do. I would say that happened within like a week. They came down. Daniel came down, we drove around, we identified a property rather, we decided on it. As he said, we were based on relationship, we had a lender, a realtor, things were in place. But again, this is all based on relationship. So within 11 days, we made the decision to formulate the other company, put the things in place to do so. We all were already business owners, so had LLCs, but we did formulate other LLCs for the specifics of being shareholders in the new company that we formulated. That all happened rather fast. The logistics of formulating our second LLCs took a different process because we have an attorney involved. But from start to closing, I think it took us 11 days. And so just to put that into perspective, the true opportunity here, the connection was made, the conversations were had, the resources were pulled. Now, when I say resources, where can you just show up and get private funding to purchase a house on the spot like that and close, not in your typical 30 days, but within 11 days? So that was the first part of the experience. Now, fast forward, it's a couple of months, we're into it. We didn't have all resources here. Daniel's transitioning into a new market. I was not an investor prior to then. So we're now identifying, pooling resources, vetting all the people that we need to build this house, right? Tear down, construction, the whole build up process, permits. It's a really lengthy process. What I would say is that it's important to be committed to the process and have people you can trust. So I don't know all the logistics, but fortunately my partner, Daniel, does, and he has 23 plus years of experience that I can lean on. And that is really, really a big deal because as you can imagine, I don't know if you ever bought a home or just take the logistics of taking care of your living space, right? Just think about that on a small scale and think about trying to build out a whole new space and all the logistics that go into it. So the support is definitely there. The resources are definitely there. And the timeline was fast in the beginning because we had to act based on the opportunity that was presented to us. However, we have had some delays because of pooling resources, but you have to be flexible in this industry and go with the growing pains. And I wanted to pull that back to the point where he said, as a partner, sometimes somebody might want to pull out because they don't see the benefit immediately. Like, okay, you may not make the type of money you were expecting or looking to make on this first deal, but when you go into it for what we're doing, we're committed to a long process. So I think all of those goals need to be discussed with who you're partnering with so that even when things happen, you're able to navigate through it efficiently. So I think that's a pretty brief synopsis. We're in a really good place now. We've established some really good resources. And the beauty in it is once you've established resources and you've established a reputation, you continue to build on that and then you can grow from it. So now we get this deal closed, we get through all the growing pains, we have all our resources, we have our list, our contractors are this, are that, and we build on that. Now, when we go back to our lender, we have a proven project, right? It's proof of concept. It's already done. And then we can continue to build and grow that.
And I want to say on another level is that the book that we've definitely kind of made, the Flip These Bricks book, and what we really are trying to do is to start beginning to find our who's. So a lot of times, we approach challenges with like, how can I do this? How can I get this done? But the power really happens when you change your question from how to who. Who can help me with this? Who can get me? Who can teach me how to do this? Who can help me find a property? And it changes the whole dynamic of what you're trying to accomplish. So I'm going to put the book in the chat just because I'm a true believer of it. Even if you never visit Flip These Bricks again, please read the book. It's powerful. It's a short read, but it just goes to what Linnea is saying is about. She found partners. She found her who in Daniel and in Flip These Bricks. And now she is making her first steps towards completing her first project.
Excellent
Yes,
book.
to
Excellent
piggyback,
book.
that's a good point, Jasmine, the who, and then also in our partnership, like we were able to identify what we each can bring to the table. So why we partnered for a multitude of reasons. Again, I can't stress enough to be active in your participation and showing up. Just don't show up. Like, you have to have conversations. You have to listen when people are speaking. You have to take those cues and see who resonates with you, what shared goals you have, and what resources you're looking for. There are a lot of resources on this call. And I'm going to add also, yes, I'm an accountant, 22 years of experience, and I also do bookkeeping, business strategy, and development for small businesses. So say you have an idea in mind, but you're not sure what route you want to take and you need help fleshing that out, I do consultations on that as well.
So in the chat, Miss Janice, I really have to give her credit for the who, not how. If she would take a moment, I don't know if she's available to just kind of speak to what she's been kind of encountering here at Flip These Bricks, that would be great.
Yes, I just got to my destination safely. Let me go into the ladies' room. You won't hear all this background noise. Okay, so yes, I can definitely, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, perfectly. I can definitely vouch for one, everything Lene was saying. As a beginning investor, as someone who did have property before, long story, investment property, I don't now, but now I'm learning it again, relearning from a different perspective. The Who, Not How book was excellent. There was another book before the Who, Not Now that we read, which was also good. So all the books, and we're presently in the book of estimating costs. That's a good book too. And I'm feeling differently reading these books in terms of coming to the table, understanding what is spoken, when I do find this property, then being ready. And it's kind of like crawling before you walk. So you come on the call and it's kind of like a step-by-step process. The other thing that I will definitely say is the one-to-one coaching that Jasmine has with me and with others I know holds you accountable. So, I mean, sometimes 2 days before I have my call with Jasmine, I say, oh, shoot, I'm going to be speaking to Jasmine in 2 days. What did I do? I flip back to my notes and I get my hustle on so I can have something to exchange. So there is an accountability. It keeps you your nose to the grind, so to speak. So the books, the one-to-one accountability calls, these Monday calls, Daniel's also at your disposal. He's more available in the morning when he first starts his day, but he's open to take calls and guide you as well. So this is kind of what, I mean, you can't get anything more than what is being offered with Flip These Bricks, because they're basically kind of taking you by the hand. And of course, you have to do your work. You have to do your piece and your part, and that's to become more engaged and be involved. So that's my take.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Janice, for that. And that goes back to what I was mentioning in the beginning of us not being here just selling classes. Like, it took me a long time to really come up with this platform, because for years, I was being told that I should teach and teach, which I'm always giving away information, but I never wanted to give it away from a standpoint to where I sold you some information, you bought my course, you went out on your own, you didn't never do it, and then it goes on your shelf. So I wanted to create an organization to where if this is something you want to do, let's do it in real time. let's build a business doing it. The money that you invest in courses, let's invest that into, lending, and things like that. When me and Lene and Mark and we put this deal together, we closed our deal with less than just roughly around 15 grand, and we was able to get the lender to give us over 220 something thousand dollars by just having the availability of 15 grand. Now, of course, we put a little bit more to the side just so we have some carrying costs. And the way that the funding works, with all of these lenders, they all pretty much the same. Some of them, which is hard money lenders, they have extra points that they may add. They may be a little flexible. Private money lenders, rates may be a little higher, but then they won't have those extra points. So your closing costs can be a lot cheaper in order to do these deals. The point that I'm making is that it does not take a lot of money. It's enough, like we have enough people on this call right now to get $2 million if we all came to the table. We can do a lot with $2 million. We don't even need $2 million. I'm just giving you guys an example of, what it took. 15 grand got us 225,000 on a house that we're building right now as we speak. As Lene mentioned, me coming into Dallas, I had no resources. I took several plane trips to Texas just to go to construction sites to find framers and plumbers and electricians. I just got back from Texas this morning, and I'm down there doing the same thing, constantly finding resources. So the first 6 months, which we actually now getting an extension on our loan, because originally when we got this house, it was supposed to be a 3-month project. We bought it sight unseen. It was supposed to be a straight rehab. The budget was for it to be a rehab. Once we went and took a look at, and this is why it's important to go and take a look at these properties as well. When we got to the property, we came to realize that there was no way that we was going to rehab this house in a timely manner and stay within budget. So the house had to be torn down. It was a decision that had to be made. Prior to us, how we got the deal so fast, another investor walked away from it, left his earnest money. So we was put in the same position because once we inspected it, I'm sure we seen the same thing that he seen. So with me being a builder, I'm not afraid of some of the things that we seen on the house. As an investor who don't know, it was bad. So he walked away, he lost his earnest money. We didn't want to walk away because we wanted to save the relationship with the lenders and everybody else we're working with. So I said, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to tear this house down. Now, as a tear down and rebuild, and these are the things that I'm going to teach you guys when we analyzing these properties. As a new construction, we bought wrong. However, we're not going to lose. When I say we bought wrong, we spent 100, I think 120, if I'm not mistaken, between 115 and 120 on this particular house, that we're tearing it down to do a new build. That's our profit. You see what I'm saying? Because in reality, we seen lots, empty lots right in the same area for 60, 70,000. So if we knew from the beginning that we was going to do a new construction, we should have just bought an empty lot. We wouldn't have had demolition costs. We would have got it cheaper, but we ended up spending more for the rehab. And now we actually going to make less on the overall project. But what took place in this last 6 months, we was able to identify an architect, civil engineer, framers, plumbers, electricians. We was able to identify qualified people and also get registered with the city of Dallas as GCs to be able to now pull our own permits and everything in Texas. So all of these things actually took place in an unknown market. Now, if we was in Atlanta, we would have just went and got permits, moved forward, would have been building already. So with you guys that's joining this, joining the organization and joining the call, it's going to be the same process for you if you in Mississippi, if you in, Ohio, no matter where your market is, I'm going to work with you guys. I'm going to come to your state and we're going to find these resources so we can have our own resources. Because what I learned is that people don't share them. I was on the internet for almost 2 years of people that I was following, that I was admiring, that was doing some great things in Texas. And we was having great conversations until I start saying, who you guys use for your foundations? Who do you use for your grading? They stopped communicating. They didn't want to share. At that point, I said, you know what, Daniel, if this is something you really want to do, jump on a plane and go down there yourself. I did it. I stayed in a hotel a few times to where 8 months ago, I put an apartment in place. So within 8 months of having a place down there, I'm only doing these things because I know that this Dallas, Texas market, and it's not the only market that's like this, but it's a really strong economy. And I identified that over the next 2 years, that's personally where I want to invest, is the reason why I'm investing into more than just looking for flips down there, because it's a great, great market. So that's basically what we did with Garza. So now that we have all the resources for Garza, less than 3 months, the house is going to be built from start to finish. You know, they already, we tore the house down fairly quickly. So the house is gone. It's an empty lot. I met with the guys over there on Saturday. Dirt was being delivered that particular day. I had other properties to go look at. I didn't want to sit at the site and wait for them to deliver dirt. The foundation guys are going to be getting started this week. And by next week, the guys are going to come in and start doing the underground plumbing. Once that slab is actually put in, I'm giving us 60 days tops to have that house built from start to finish. Ideally, that's what we wanted to happen from the day we took that project. But I guess like Lene said, you got to put in that time, you got to find your resources. And once you got them, long as you take care of them, you pay them on time, you're always going to have them. When your next deal come, by the time you get to your third deal, that's when you're going to start seeing things to be really, really profitable. So that's what's happening on the Garza project. The next thing I want to talk about is to piggyback off of the benefits of FTB. Now, our membership, I can almost guarantee you, you're not going to find no organization in this country or in the world that as cheap as us, because our goals isn't to make money off of memberships. There's organizations that I spend $5-6 grand a year just to be a member of these organizations, because I'm in these organizations for the same reason why we're here building FTB, is to get educated, is to stay what's going on in the community. And I'm doing the same thing at FTB. So Flip These Bricks Academy, we have a one-time fee. It started out to where we was going to have a yearly fee. And as we start digging into it and we really start looking at our purpose and our mission, it's a one-time fee, a lifetime membership. The only way you will ever get kicked out of this organization, it won't be for not participating. It'll be just for doing some negligence to another member, you know, creating fraud or, you know, doing dishonest deals. And if members are coming back to the table saying, hey, you know, I was working with this person and this happened, that's the only thing that will ever get you out of this organization. So the $1,500 fee is your flat fee forever for you to get this platform. And you just keep showing up, because ultimately you're going to build your own platform. You're going to build your own network. Now, to go back to saying that Flip These Bricks is working towards becoming a bank, it's going to take us some time, because out of that $1,500, we use $1,000 of that to pay it forward. So ultimately, FTB only takes in $500 from that membership, and it just goes into our account. It covers our Zoom call meetings for now. It's going to cover any type of marketing stuff that we're doing, website hosting, and, you know, whatever it takes for us to get things to you guys. As of it right now, that's what that $500 fee is. The $1,000 out of that $1,500, we give it to whoever refer you to this organization. And reasoning is we want money to be circulating at the bottom level of this organization. We want us to be proud to go out to say, listen, I'm a member of FTB and I'm a nurse, and there's some great people in this organization. You should join this, and this is why. Even if they don't invest or you're not ready to invest, it's really about growing the network and learning and being able to work together and building a resource center that will actually work for you. When people go into this database, they're supposed to say, you know, I know somebody over there. And they got plenty of organizations like that, but the organizations are not investing back into the people. You know, Gina's not on the call tonight, but Gina referred a few people into the organization in the midst of her joining the organization and received $1,000 commission. You know, you tell 5 people, 3 people come on Monday and join this call. We on this call, give and take roughly an hour, hour and a half. You just made $3,000 in an hour and a half of your time. So I need y'all to really look at it from that perspective, because investing starts small. Let's invest on a small scale by sharing FTB, and you take that money and just keep stacking it and keep stacking it and keep stacking it. And eventually you'll be able to use that money to put on down payments and invest in whatever you want to invest in. So I want to encourage you guys to take advantage of the $1,000 referral fee. You guys might not know everything about the organization, but if you keep showing up, you will. Like Joseph's sister said when she got on here, I don't know. He told me to come, I came. So now she came, she here. You see what I'm saying? If she was to join, Joseph just made $1,000. It's just that simple. That's the small step of one of the benefits that we put in place. The next benefit that we put in place, which we didn't implement it yet, however, we will honor it if it was to take place. Being that I have this construction background, I decided that we're going to bring the construction management component to Flip These Bricks Academy. So therefore, you guys can now have an in-house construction management component to kind of help you guys oversee your projects and help assist you guys a little bit more personally if you are planning on investing. So that referral program, we pay 10% overall from the project of them just referrals. All of us have known somebody that needed something done at their house, whether it was painting, remodeling, they want a roof, they want to get some floors done, your neighbor seen you got your house done and they ask you who did it and you refer, you're getting anything out of it. What Flip These Bricks is doing and doing going forward, we're going to be paying out a 10% commission of the profits of that project, regardless if it's a $500 paint job or if it's a $250,000 renovation for a room addition, you will get 10% of those profits. In the construction industry, the highest paid people in the industry are the salesmen. Salesmen usually don't want salaries, and they don't want salaries because they get paid high commissions. I'm sharing that because I need y'all to put that inside your head, because at the end of the day, like I'm currently working on a $1.7 million project here in Westchester that came from a marketing campaign that I created. Well, I'm going to show you guys as members on a monthly basis how to create marketing campaigns. So therefore, people that's looking for remodeling services will then be calling your phone. And then you refer them back to the organization. We're going to take over the construction process. We're going to sell the jobs. We're going to meet the customers. We're going to deal with them. And members, I'm going to get with you guys to kind of share the in-depth of how that would actually work. Everybody LLC, that's a member that's being part of this organization, take advantage of that. Y'all can make $200,000-$300,000 a year in just referrals, you know, and start working your areas and start referring business back to the organization. So I created that because I know that that'll be a great incentive. Of course, you have to work a system like that to see those type of numbers. But at the end of the day, I'm sure some of us refer business to each other all the time and we don't get anything out of it. So keep your eyes open. Just know that if somebody need any building or remodeling, send them over this direction and a commission check is coming your direction. Those are 2 incentives that so far that we actually have. And we're going to get it into the Mighty Network so the members can actually see it in more detail so it can make more sense. But I wanted to share that. The next 2, the last thing that I'm going to mention is I'm currently focusing in Dallas, Texas right now, as well as, you know, the Atlanta, Georgia market. However, Texas is a hot market. Texas is what Atlanta used to be. And there's so many opportunities in that South Dallas area. So I'm going to be personally bringing deals on a regular basis back to our organization just in that particular market. However, I am going to be looking at deals that you guys bring from other markets. I found several opportunities in Texas, and I would like you guys to come down there with me to piggyback with me and Lene, and let's buy up some of these properties, because you got Disney World building there. They got the the Vegas Strip they're working on, you know, bringing down in that direction. They're working on a lightning train right now that's coming out of Houston into Texas. Into Dallas. the market, if you know anything about the Atlanta market 10 to 15 years ago, that's what's happening in Dallas. The only difference is Dallas economy is way stronger, and that's the corporate hub, you know, for these Fortune 500 companies, these IT companies, these oil companies. So the money is there to support the growth. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I just signed an agreement today for office in a warehouse in Dallas, Texas. I am, you know, committing to moving a whole division of my business down there because I know I'm going to be doing a lot of investing there. So I'm not just trying to do fix and flips. So I got a whole situation setting up. So if you guys want to come into the Texas market, I'm down there. I will be there, and I'll have boots on the ground. And you guys can come down and visit whenever you want. The last thing that I want to talk about is the FTB project. The first official FTB project. And when I say FTB project, this is a project that I can do on my own. This is a project that any of the members will do on their own if they actually had it fall in their lap the way that it did. I'm bringing it to FTB because my goal is to empower my members. And I want my members to be able to constantly have deals coming to the table. I want every last one of our members to keep bringing deals to the table the same way that I'm bringing this one to the table. This particular deal is not a deal that I've seen that I think we could do. Maybe we may win the contract, you know, maybe we not, maybe we won't. This is a deal that I actually have the contract on. So if not one member decide that they want to get involved, I have to go through with this deal. But instead of me going 100% into it, I want to bring it to the organization. And as far as members, give me a couple of days. I know Jasmine, she's in India right now, so she's actually Zooming from India. So once she actually gets back, we're going to put everything into a presentation. We're going to put it into Mighty Networks so you guys can see the appraisals, you can see the numbers, you can see everything. I'm looking to close on this property within the next 3 weeks. That's the timeline. So if anyone that's members that's interested in getting involved in this particular deal, we probably gonna have about a good week of whatever commitments once you guys actually see the numbers. I put down inside the chat the address just in case if any one of you guys want to pull up the address, but it's 837 Metropolitan Parkway. So that's actually inside the chat. This was a last minute situation, so we don't have a presentation for it, but I'm going to explain it to you. I just sent some pictures over to Jasmine so you guys can see the condition of the particular house. So you see what the house looks like. It's in terrible, terrible shape, but these are the type of deals that we looking to do. It's in a great location of Atlanta. It's off of Metropolitan Parkway. It's in a Beltline community, and I'm getting the property for $160,000. So as you can see right there, from just from the pictures that she's actually putting, I sent a few more pictures as well of showing what was already currently built across the street. So you got new construction next door, you got new construction around the corner. You have a whole apartment complex on literally right across to the left of the particular property. When you look at this project, this is what you call a project that was mismanaged. And I'll give you guys a little bit of background how I got the project, but this is why relationships are really, really, really important. I actually looked at this house 2 years ago as a contractor and gave an estimate to rehab this home for a particular investor that I didn't know that was referred to me, and they end up going in a different direction. Sometimes the universe works in mysterious ways, and this is how I know that this platform is the greatest platform for our community, the greatest platform that I've ever seen within history, because you know, me being a spiritual person, me knowing that everything that I do dwells within the universe and the great creator, God, whatever you guys perceive it to be in your life or your walk. This project came back to me 2 years later, but it came to me because the project, I'm building a house in New York, and the house that I'm building in New York, my client is an attorney. He calls me and he says, "Hey, Daniel, you know, one of my clients, you know, has a distressed situation and he's in Atlanta and we need to figure out what we need to do. If you can help him get out this house, you'd be interested." Sure, no problem. I'm going to Atlanta next week. I'll take a look at it. Well, when I got to the house, I realized, wow, I've been here already. I gave an estimate on this house 2 years ago. What's the odds that a strange client that met me online for marketing in New York has a client that was a partner of the investor that I met that basically screwed that person over for the project to come right back to me? So the deal's going to come in all different ways. They're going to come in all different fashions, but this particular deal came to me this way. So I want to bring it to FTB. The pictures that you see that Jasmine is showing you, these are the neighbors. This is directly across the street. I can take a tennis ball and throw it across the street and hit them buildings. Just to kind of share a little bit of the numbers of what to expect from the sale of this area with this house. Purchase price is at 160. Rehab cost is going to be on the hard side around 225, but we can kind of negotiate some of our guys down. There's a possibility we can get this thing rehab for about 190. I stretched it because I want to make sure that the numbers work with it being stretched. So I put it at about 225,000 on rehab costs. So ultimately investment cost is at $385,000. Now, if you look at this new construction, which is right less than a few blocks away from where this particular house is, technically, if we wanted to tear down, do a new construction, we're looking at $600,000 on the sale. Now, if I want to do an extension, I can make it look just like that. And being that it's not new construction, you ain't going to get that same price, but we'll come somewhere close. There's one that sold already. And Jasmine, she's going to pop that one up for you. This one sold in December for $575,000. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. This is 1,800 square feet, 1821. The square footage of the particular house that I just showed you guys is the same exact square footage. So we're getting it at $160,000. So even if we put $225,000, and if that house sold, which I believe the comps probably are a little bit higher now. You know, Mario, he's a real estate, appraiser. I'm definitely going to get with him and we're going to, chop this thing up and really, really look at it. But if we sold this house at $575,000, we made $190,000 minus the carrying cost, because a house like this would take us about 90 days from start to finish to be able to get this done. So you figure out of that $190,000, you got what, 3 worst case scenario, 4 months of mortgage payments. Our mortgage payments would be less than $3,000 a month to carry, a construction loan of, this magnitude. It works within the deal. So this is an FTB project. So I want to be able to, let you guys know that any and everybody can get involved in this project. I'm bringing it to the table. I'll be able to let you guys read over the contracts and everything this week so you can see the position that I'm in the particular project. And then we just got to figure out who wants to be involved and what we need. I already spoke to one lender already. He was actually on our call the last couple of times. Jerome, the funder that was on here, he already agreed to fund the deal already. So once I give him the final numbers, I'll be able to know that a final closing cost and what we would need to bring to the table in order to get this deal done. And once I do that this week, I will present it to FTB. And this is the official first FTB project, and I'm going to keep them coming because I want us to be successful. I want us to be wealthy, and I want us to start working together, in real time. I also had another 5 acres sent to me in Atlanta, Georgia, undeveloped for less than $175,000. That was sent to me as well. I'm still doing some due diligence on that one. That one will be like a potential, small subdivision. That one also will be a potential to bring to the table if we can close that one. But this one that I mentioned is already done. I'm going to open up the floor for any questions regarding any of what I just spoke about. If you have any questions about the project, FTB, clarification, but that's pretty much all I have on my agenda for tonight, Jasmine. I know I was long-winded, I said a lot, but I wanted to take my time just so I can explain it,
Actually did a great job, Daniel. Like you were precise. Good job. That's awesome. Yeah, so we're going to open up the floor for anyone that has questions. I am going to share this information on Mighty Networks. It won't be for a couple days though, guys. I am, like you said, the other side of the world, but I will get it to you. Please make sure that you put an email address in the chat so that I can send you an invitation to Mighty Networks if you have not joined us as of yet. And then I can also potentially send information via email as well.
So I have a question. So Daniel, with the last project you just spoke about, are there fees attached to it? I mean, I know as far as the profit, it'd be based on how much you're investing, right? So there'll be different payouts depending on how much you invest.
Yeah, we'll break it out. There's a 100% to a pie. We would just break it down on the involvement of the investor who want to get involved. They want 20% stake, 50% stake, 40%. So based on where you come in at, that will be your percentage that you will get back on the back end. And when that will also be your percentage of what you brought to the table to close the deal. So let's just hypothetically say we need $50,000 of our own money to carry this. The percentage of that 50,000 that you bring to the table, that's going to be the chunk that you would take out, and that'll be the chunk of the ownership. So what we would do is we would create the LLC covering that, and then that entity, we will own that entity collectively at that same capacity. So therefore, once that project is done, nobody have to worry about someone responsible for paying them their percentages back. Your name is on title. The closing attorney to cut you your portion because that'll be part of the operating agreement. And then we all will sell that house and all get our checks and go our ways, and nobody ever have to see what's in your accounts, what you transferred, or any of it. So it's literally a straight partnership that we will create.
Okay, so you would be doing the building, but there's no extra fee.
Well, there's
the fee for the
all of the fees and everything is going to be included into the overall number. So this week, and I can share that with you being that, you sharing interest, I can get you those numbers. Those numbers will show you all your fees all the way through. It'll show you your closing cost fees. It'll show you your monthly fees. It'll show you your building costs. It'll show you the draw system, the draw schedule, and everything. And those are the fees that will be minus what the overall profit. Because even though, let's say, the yield is 190, we're not going to make 190 by the time we subtract carrying costs and everything else that comes out of it. Now, if we was to get more than 575, then our profit just gets a little bit bigger. I'm on this particular project, when I bank the numbers, when I put it in a group, I'm going to bank it around for 550. Even though we know that we got a sale around the corner at 575, I want that to be a bonus that we get 575 as well. But I'm going to put my numbers in at a 550 mark because we know that that's going to be supportive across the board in this particular area.
Okay, thanks.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. Thanks.
And I want to, I don't know if we have any additional questions, but I just want to kind of wrap up the call by saying that, this is a journey. That's what Miss Janice mentioned, that she had done investments before and now she's back into it. And for those who have never did an investment, to know that it's trial and error, and it's also going to be highs and lows. There's going to be a property that you may go under contract and then it may not come to fruition, but you have to just ride the course, and you have to know that with your diligence and with your commitment that you will complete the project. So when it kind of seems weary, or when you're saying like, I'm not quite sure what direction I'm going or how this is going to work for me personally, I say, and I say this to Daniel all the time, go deeper, not wider. So that means just don't quit. That means just dig deeper into what you are doing and what you're currently doing with our membership and with our community. Any other questions?
Jazz, I'll just
Yes.
piggyback off of that. This is Lene again, as a as a rookie investor, you know. So when you say like just stay the course, that's what I was trying to really reiterate earlier, because nothing is perfect. So you can't come into this expecting perfection. And even dealing with having a partner like Daniel with all seasoned, very seasoned, right? Things just happen. And so when you make the commitment, I think it's important to be clear upfront on expectations, but be flexible in the process, because it's no different than your day-to-day happenings. Things happen, things change. You have to be flexible. You can't feel defeated. You got to really be par for the course.
Yes. Thank you so much. That is so true. And then one last thing, because before I left the US, I mailed out shirts. So Anthony, you should check your email. Now, if you had not, and let me say this because I don't want to get in trouble. If I don't have an official application, I was not able to send you a t-shirt. But if you have filled out your FTB application and I have it on file, I was able to send out some t-shirts. So I sent one to Anthony. Maria, you should take a look out. Myra told me she got hers. Miss Janice, I sent them out to you. Al Tariq, I sent you one. Mr. Sherrod, I owe you one. So check your mailboxes. You should have some Flip These Bricks t-shirts in your mailbox. All right.
And Mia, Miss Janice is in Connecticut. She's in Danbury. I'm currently working in Connecticut now. I'm down in New Haven. I'm actually doing Joe and Maria's house. I know you know Joe.
Yeah.
Pastor Joe and Maria. I'm working on their house right now as we speak. So I'm down in the area pretty often. Me and Janice was, having conversation about Bridgeport. There's some opportunities in the Bridgeport area. So if there's things that you've been looking at just in your close vicinity, comfort zone, send it in. We could take a look at it. Outside of just, Atlanta and Texas, because I know you here in Connecticut. It's affordable deals in New Jersey, as well as on that Connecticut side. So I'm personally also looking into the Bridgeport area, because I see more towards the Stratford side where the water, everything is working its way back down, as Greenwich has already came all the way up that way, already. But I'm gonna get with you personally so we can just have a one-on-one. So I
Okay,
can
that'd be good.
get an idea of, some of your goals and what is the things that you guys are already doing, even with the other organization. We all about collaborating and working together, so that's what FTB is about.
So Mia, what part of Connecticut are you in?
So I live in North Haven.
North Haven. Okay.
Yeah. So, I haven't done much at all. It's just that, we're kind of thinking we want some other streams of income. And like you said, just building that wealth, thinking of our kids. And then Joe actually has a cousin in Atlanta that's doing exactly what you're doing, Danielle. Like she's buying and but her investments are a little bit more like money that she's looking for the investors. So, I'm just kind of trying to find out from different folks, like different ways to kind of get in and different ways to and learn, because like I said, we don't really know a whole lot.
Well, I would definitely encourage you to join us for our tax lien call. Anthony, he's quiet tonight, but he's full of knowledge and wealth. That was, if anyone else wants to speak up about our first course, and it's a great entry point. So for that passive income that you're speaking about. So I'm very excited about it. That's actually going to be my entry point. I got my money ready, and we're going to do some tax liens. So April the 20th, 2 to 4, you join us. We would love to have you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anthony, you're not gonna say anything? You're not gonna toot your own horn? You're not gonna, nothing? No?
I'm not. I'm one of those behind the scene guys. I do my best work behind the scene. But to be honest, it's gonna be good because I'm excited for this because it's an untapped resource that is just like a money train. So I'm gonna go deep. I'm gonna be open, and I'm gonna be strict in terms of what I want you to get out of it. In terms of not just worrying about trying to get to a website or something. That's not the most important thing. The most important thing is to understand the concept and why this is happening and the how, and then you can partake better, right? Because it's a dangerous feel, but it's a good feel once you get the platform down pat. And that's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you the ins and outs so that you're confident to do this on your own, or among us in terms of the community itself. So it's going to be good, I guarantee. But one thing I want to say though, I'm part of this group for one reason, because I've never seen something like this before. And so it just blew my mind. And then the fact that, Daniel was involved in this. And my first time I met him, many years ago, just the way he was thinking and the things that he was doing. And I think he had just moved to New York. And so his energy and his thought process just blew my mind. Like, this guy is just going to run away with everything. And he was in a city where I don't say it was our playground, so to speak, but he came in and just owned the city. I'm like, wow. So he blew my mind. So I know what he's doing now, and whatever is coming out of Flips These Bricks, going to be just beneficial to everybody, to our legacy.
Thanks, Anthony. And then also, I guess I should just say, for those that are joining us tonight, if you want to see some of our replays, you can actually watch Anthony's first presentation. I post our replays on YouTube, Flip These Bricks Academy on YouTube. You can watch all of our Monday calls. They are there. So you can check out his first video on tax liens. It's there, as well as all of our other calls. We had a great call last week about insurance. So our call topics, they do vary, but I think that every week that I hope that everyone walks away with something very beneficial. We're at the 8:30 point, and it is 6 a.m. here in India, and I'm dying. So I'm dying. I've been on the phone I've been here since 3 a.m. So I'm like, I'm out, guys. I'm always good for adios. But thank you all so much for joining us. Look forward to getting to know more of you well. And I have your email. So we do send out a weekly email. So look out for that. And until next week, be great, be good, be safe. And I'll see you when I get back to the U.S.
Good night.
Good night, guys. Thank you
Good
so
morning.
much. Good morning. Good night and good morning. All of that. Have a great day. Have a great week, guys.
Good night.
Okay, good night. Be safe.
Good night, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Get some good massage. The price is right over there.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, the price is right. You could get
It is.
one every day if you need to. Enjoy though. Enjoy.
Thank you so much. Have a good night, guys. Bye-bye. Hi, Daniel. You did a great job.
See you later. Thank you.
See you later. Thank you. Bye, guys. All right. I'm ending.